Hey, this is Pug Weasel. I have a Preppers You Have It Wrong series video, and today's topic is without rule of law and why it isn't with rule of law. So, I know a lot of you are going to write and say, well, we thought of that, and I understand that maybe you have, but maybe you're saying to yourself, I'm preparing for the worst. If it's with rule of law, then fine. But here's what I mean. Obviously, if we have some kind of serious end of the world type situation, and people are going to go out and start doing whatever, it doesn't mean that we all have to. I mean, the Constitution, the way the Constitution works philosophically is until someone invades this country and we write a new one, the Constitution stays intact. So, our Constitution has been intact since this version was written in 1787, I believe. And there's no reason for anybody to believe that it's going to stop being intact, even if we revert back to some sort of situation where we are not as modernized as we are now. Societies can rebuild themselves, and I would think that they would want to use the Constitution as their guide for laws, so on and so forth. The other thing is that just because other people are acting without rule of law doesn't mean that the majority of people aren't going to look towards the law and continue to try to follow it in some way, shape, or form. So again, I'm not, here to say, oh, I know what you haven't thought of, and now I'm telling you what you haven't thought of. But not many of you have expressed the idea that you will be living in a post shit hit the fan world where you are going to have some idea of fairness and what the laws were, and what the Ten Commandments are, for that matter, and try to live by those things. So, at some point in time, you have to ask yourself, are you saying everybody else but you is going to decide that the laws don't matter, they can do whatever they want? Or is it just enough for some small group of people to decide that they don't care about the laws, because we're in that situation now with criminals? Or are you saying that you, while you'll have some sense of fairness, don't feel like the laws will be intact, and therefore you'll have to take the law into your own hands? I think that societies will start to come together, that groups will start to come together, and they will form rules for themselves, but they'll also look to what they already understand is right and wrong, and that'll reflect the law. Maybe not the same way it has in the past, but and I've done a video on the kind of groups I think will come together when I talked about my first video about Preppers You Have It Wrong. In this video, I'm specifically covering the idea that we would have a life where it's without rule of law. I disagree. I think most of us have an idea of what the law is. We know you can't murder people. We know it's wrong to steal. We know that you can't. That my rights start, or my rights stop where yours start. And I think that we will continue to live with those kind of rules in mind. And even as we put together groups, we will look towards the Constitution. And here's how I know you're going to look towards the Constitution, because almost every last one of you guys has a gun, and I have I don't know, I have 5 copies of the Constitution running around here in the form of little booklets that are given to you when you buy or purchase a gun, I should say, when you officially buy a new gun. So I know you guys have them. I don't know why you wouldn't think that you're going to be using them after the fall. So that's my more of a question to you. I know you're going to have comments. I know you're going to say I didn't think of something. I'm not saying that you don't plan to live without any laws and you're just going to go crazy. I understand. But do you really think that the vast majority of people are? Or do you think that there's going to be this only, the preppers are going to get together, or they're not going to get together, but you're going to be the people who are the only ones who are trying to live by some sort of law and everybody else is going to go crazy? Are you going to end up violating the law by being preppers in a world full of people who didn't prep? All questions I have, things I don't necessarily understand about how you guys have looked at your futures, and so it's more of a question video than it is an answer video. So I'll be looking forward to your comments. This has been Pug Weasel. Have a good day.